Good afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us once again at the Voices podcast. My name is Arafat. Today, we have a special guest in the studio. We have a special voice in the studio. Today, we have Mr. Teddy Kaberuka. He's an expert, he's an economist, and he's been actually vocal when it comes to discussing on economics of this country. And today, he joins us to, delve deeper into the conversation of refugees in the country, looking at whether having refugees in Rwanda is a burden or it's untapped economic advantage for the country like Rwanda that seeks to advance its development. Thank you so much, Mr. Teddy, for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm not used to this kind of media.
Okay.
Now I'm discovering.
You're discovering?
Yeah, I'm used to the mainstream
media.
Yeah.
So is it your first time to be invited on this kind of...
face-to-face, yes. I've been doing phone interviews.
Oh, you've been phone interviews.
Never sit in a studio.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you for having me now.
Going on radios and... You've been going to radios and
TVs, write some articles myself, or giving interview to like the writers, but never on
you are a popular economist in the country. You've been
I'm humbled.
You've been actually helping many people to understand more of the economics around money, trade, and many things. So today, the reason as to why I invited you actually was like, as I told you earlier that I was discussing with a friend of mine and looking at, why do some people critique Rwanda's plan to have, refugees hosted in the country, those who are suffering from their countries and those who are deported from even other countries to come here. And it looks like people don't understand the purpose or the reason or the advantages. So if I can give just a small background, you know that Rwanda now hosts refugees from Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. We have refugees from Burundi following the 2015 political unrest. We have refugees from Eritrea. We have refugees from Ethiopia, Somalia, Libya, and of course, recently, 1 year, I think 2 years ago, we had refugees from Afghanistan. We also have refugees from where? There's one country that I'm forgetting. Yes, Sudan and South Sudan. So all these people come with a lot of skills, with a lot of ambitions, with so many things to do. So my first question here to you is, from an economic perspective, are refugees or asylum seekers a burden for a country like Rwanda that seeks to continue advancing its development, or it's an advantage actually?
Wow. Before even hitting that question, I think there are some terminologies people need to lay the ground for, because sometimes those terminology bring some stigma, bring discrimination, bring some threats to the nation. There are terminology like refugee, which sometimes are misinterpreted vis-a-vis to asylum seekers, to immigrants. Even if you expand the discussion, you can even say the so-called expats. When you walk on the streets of Kigali, you see so many white people, not to be or not to sound like xenophobia, but when you see white people, no one would wonder if they are refugees or immigrants, but we take them as default as expats coming or tourists. But all in all, people coming to a country, being legally, being illegally. Of course, illegal, it's another parenthesis not open for the moment. But any person coming into a country, regardless of the heart the person is putting on, that person is an asset for a country. Especially people falling under the workforce. So the reason why I decided to make that clarification is when we have immigrants, people coming from different origins to seek for shelter in Rwanda. They may have different reasons. Some of them coming from war zone countries, and those are typical refugee, because that's the terminology people are used to, and many of them are under the UNHCR and Geneva Convention treaties. They are protected under that legislation. But so many other may come like a normal citizen who is seeking for green pasture. That person, by registering or applying for the visa, may not sound like he's a refugee, but in actual sense, he's migrating from point A to point B. So from an economic lens now, when I look at the people, I classify them in two categories. One category are those people who are seeking for green pasture. Many of them, when they try to cross the sea or to use, the Libya or so many other exit points on the continent, they have issues, to cross the sea and go to Europe. When they go, they are going for green pastures. It's known. And the moment for those who manage to cross the sea, when they are there, in that transition of becoming like active, there are so many issues. Some countries have xenophobia, others are discriminating them, others have a very swift transition period where they get all the papers and they can work. But on the law, when you go to Europe, you see a lot of people in a workforce of those countries. So the moment you cross that bridge of getting the papers, you become an active person, being active, working, paying taxes, consuming, then you become an asset. But no one wants to see that angle. They always say these people are burden. But in a broader perspective, if a country is prepared to receive immigrants, prepared, it means you have the entire legal framework to regulate them. You have the social services to receive them, because anyway, when they come, they need services. They need shelter, they need basic food, they need integration process. But the moment they are in your economy, being active people, then they are an asset. You can use them for productive purposes. And now, from that angle, there's no loss for a country, because many countries, especially in the Westerners, they have a declining population curve. So when they receive people who are active, physically active, mentally active, intellectual, many of them are intellectual, then it's an asset for them. They are very much productive. It's a plus for those countries. And I would extend that same logic. If Rwanda as a host country, we've been receiving immigrants or refugees on different waves. We receive few, not few, but like 100,000 of them coming from DRC. But when they come, for them, they were seeking for a safe place. But when they were resettled, because Rwanda has a very clear social services to accommodate them, actually Rwandans don't even feel like we have refugees in Rwanda, because we don't see them crossing here and there. We have a social services taking care of them. We have a dedicated ministry for them. We have different agencies supporting them. So I don't think there would be any Rwandan complaining that these people are taking our jobs. Because if you go to so many countries, the complaint of the people is like, okay, these people are competing with us on the job markets. But in Rwanda, it's not the case.
What is the case?
The case is, I'm just trying to make a distinction between refugees who came to seek for a safe place. I'm also making another subgroup of those ones who, for this refugee coming from Libya, they were trying to go to Europe, to access Europe, passing by Libya ports, but because of so many reasons, they were stuck there. They were mistreated, dehumanized, and everything.
It was because of the war that was ongoing.
No. You see, it's a human trafficking, actually. These people, I know the case very well. When you go to West Africa, you understand how it works. So because it has been a human traffic for so many years, so people are coming from different countries and using that channel to access the European ports, like Spain and Italy, and Spain and Italy. Sometimes for those who use the sea, then they cross those two countries to access Belgium, France, and Netherlands, and UK. So to cut the story short, is when this immigrant came, I remember like 7 years ago, the government of Rwanda has prepared I would say a place for them. They are there. They receive different training. They have translators. They have what we call social services to help them when they are in that process of getting a third countries to host them, to receive them. So as a citizen of this country, I've never felt any threat or any burden because these people are in the country. When there was the war escalated in Afghanistan, we saw thousands of young people who were at the university, young ladies they came here. When there was the war escalated in Sudan, we saw the Sudanese student coming here, being reintegrated in our schools. There was no social problem because the social structure is well designed that whoever is coming has a place to fit in. It doesn't disturb anything. No one is losing health care because refugees are coming. No one is missing any opportunity for shelter in Rwanda because of refugees. So basically, it doesn't present any social problem. On the other hand, when I look at human being as a source of production, I see them as an opportunity, as workforce. Because if you see the age brackets, I would say the majority of them are in the workforce age brackets, like 16 to 65. Very few have children, those are the future generation. Very few are in that retirement age. So I see them as the opportunity or a potential to work. The problem is how, as economy, how do we tap into those resources? Let me give you a very simple example. When we saw, actually, like 3 years ago, when the war escalated in Sudan, the faculty of medicine shifted here. Those are workforce. The shortage of doctors we have. If they are here, they are trained here. Before even they start thinking to migrate, they will be working in Rwanda.
In our hospitals.
Then it's not a problem. So if now...
And actually, it's also an institution that comes to add on the one we have.
Exactly. The same institution will also be absorbing Rwandan students to do the faculty of medicine. So I think in a very broader perspective for me, a migration of people, I don't see any threats. Rather, I see it as an opportunity countries should tap into.
But sincerely speaking, when you were so many people here, when they speak about this, they tend to say that they've come to take our jobs. That's number one. Number two, they also say that they've hiked the prices of goods and services, and more especially on renting houses. for residents. That is true. For me, I've really done my simple survey. It is true. Because
what is it true? Because there are two parameters. Either it's a job market or rental market.
Rental market.
Okay.
And on the rental market, what is lacking to me is regulating the prices of renting houses. I don't know if that is possible because someone builds a house also wanting to make profits.
We are talking different issue.
No. I want to bring it to what you were saying. That yes, I agree. Myself too. I agree. It's really good to have these people here, but they should also look at how they can regulate prices. That because these people, they receive money from these agencies that facilitates them, and some get money that is more than an average earner of this country.
Do you know, if I look at it from another angle of market, if our market is booming because we are having consumers with money, then they are creating opportunities. We should not look at it from a speculative aspect, but from a earning aspect. Because just imagine if you have your apartment being empty half of the year, and now you get this massive number of people with purchasing power to come and consume your product. Now, as a house owner, would you be in loss or in profit?
It is a profit.
Now you are making the
But
point.
also go back to the person who was living in that house. Let's not talk about an apartment. Let's talk about regular rental houses. Because now we have students from South Sudan and Sudan who are renting all these houses down here in Chichuchiro, in Sonatubes, who are going for these universities around there. And a house that used to rent 2 years ago, let's say 200,000 Rwandan francs, which is about $170 or $160. Today, as we speak, the house has gone to about 350, 450. The house has almost doubled in these areas. And this simply means that the Rwandan person a Rwandan who was renting that house, he has to go away. He has to find another place to go to, which is good to the renter.
You are looking at the coin from one side, and I'm afraid.
I want also to come back to, because when this money comes to these owners of the house,
they are bringing us dollars.
They are bringing us dollars, and we need dollars. Yes. And I agree. This also increases the purchasing power outside of the market after they've given this money.
So it's creating opportunity for different people.
Yes. But also, we can't forget that there is need for regulation.
No, for me, we can agree or we can disagree. But the whole purpose of discussing this is to look at it from a business perspective or from an opportunity perspective. For me, if we had what we can call a boom, like one time a massive number of people are coming with money, it's an opportunity. What the reaction of the market might be is to shift from a small market approach to a bigger market. It would mean people in the housing sector, they're investing to respond to that need because the demand has grown very fast. That demand may even be coming not only for the immigrant coming to, it can even be coming from our rural area people coming to cities. Because maybe, I'll give you an example. You can have a project around Lake Kivu, like tourism booming, people creating asset, people creating wealth, and then sending their children to Kigali for education. You can have like thousands of them coming, and those same people can have effect on rental. You understand? Which would you complain that these people came from the western provinces and they are, putting a pressure on the rental market?
No, you wouldn't.
Now the point is, when these people come with money, it should be seen as an opportunity, not a threat. The only worry I may have is if these people come empty-handed, without anything, and then our government would be taking part of our taxes to to feed them. That will be another discussion. But if these people are coming with money, it's for me, if you wait, it has much benefit than them not coming. Because
I 100% agree.
I'm looking at it from the other aspect. Do you remember that particular time when we had so many people who took loan in the banks and they failed to pay their bank obligation because they invested in housing and those houses were not occupied?
Actually, you know that in Rwanda we have the highest non-performing loans, I think.
Exactly.
In the region.
So now these people, when they come with the money, it's a growing market, which for me it's an opportunity. What I can say is, do we have a mechanism to predict those market demand, which can push to the increase of rent?
Because when maybe if I can intervene there,
Yes.
look, maybe what they need to do, I assume that they should find. I mean, they should construct, or they should they should engage investors in construction to make sure that they invest more, or if possible, the government can invest. Because now,
when you say they, who is they? Who is they? You need to define who.
I'm speaking about it's the government that puts in place policies. That
you need to understand that we are in a free market system, economy, where the demand and supply always compete to get the best equilibrium. It means, actually I like that approach because I'm from that school of thought. Because when you have too much regulation, sometimes you kill innovation. But when you leave the market very open, people will always adjust themselves to respond to the new opportunities. So I'm sure as we speak now, there's maybe that rental thing was an issue a year ago. But as we speak now, people have adjusted. They have seen opportunity in investing in small houses, and now the market stabilizes. So it's completely normal that when you have an increase of demand, obviously the price goes up, but with time people see an opportunity, they invest in it, and now it creates a ripple effect on the economy.
Sincerely speaking, I'm one of the people that believes that we need these people. We need them. Because I've seen that they come with money. I was reading about the UK Rwanda deal that failed. That each deportee was supposed to receive $150,000 within a period of 5 years. And I sat down, I did my calculations. I was looking at let's say one person, to feed one person in Kigali for 1 year. I was like 15 million is enough. 15 million at least, if he's really a high consumer.
Okay.
And then I calculated, I said 15 million times 5.
By the way, if you see our the most recent not census, but the ACV, the household consumption survey, a person in Rwanda consume close to 500,000, around that now per year. So
500,000?
Yes.
Rwandan francs?
Yes.
That's a lie.
No, that's the minimum. That's the minimum from that census. So it means.
Do you believe in the census? By the virtue of look.
Well, it's a scientific method. Indeed, it is, because what we consider is a basic consumption. We are not talking
500,000.
Yes.
The highest consumption was how much?
Sorry? No. That's the threshold for poverty. A normal, what we call a middle class person. With
that was the minimum and the max. There was no maximum.
No. The average, we call it average. Average consumption of a middle class person, it's 100,000 per year, close to that.
So when I was doing my math, I was like, okay, let me just assume that one person consumes 15 million Rwandan francs every year.
No, that's not in developing countries. That is in middle income economies.
So in a developing country like Rwanda would be like how much?
That's
if
the
you
five.
let's assume like
That's 500,000, 532,000. So
per year.
per year, one person.
One person.
Yes.
So
like for basic consumption, like food.
I want to calculate this looking at the amount this person comes with in the country.
Yes.
Because 150,000 US dollars, it's close to 200 million Rwandan francs today.
Yes.
So this person was to come in the country with 200 million Rwandan francs.
Yes.
On his budget.
Yes.
And if
that including the housing, education, social
and
food and whatever, medical, everything.
Yes.
But remember, these people are sponsored, so this is a very big amount of money, plus other services like legal services, because this person will obviously need legal support so that he can continue to process his papers.
No,
so it's not only for
me, I was like,
normal
okay,
consumption.
that's cool. That's why I was saying I'll give this person 20 million every year on his full consumption.
Yes.
Full spending.
Yes.
And that simply means that 100 million, this person would only spend 100 million in 5 years.
Okay.
In each period before they get more money.
Okay.
In case this person is not yet ready to go to the other country. And I was like, we have a balance. This person will be having a balance of 100 million on the budget.
Yes. So,
to me, this is a rich person.
No, what you are missing
and this person is...
No, wait. Before you make another statement. The calculation was made based on cost of living of the country, which is UK. Which means the cost of living of each country define the amount of money the person needs to spend for the person to survive. That the calculation was made. That's why you feel sometimes you get like wrong with it. But what you need to understand is, for a country to host a person, the logic is the host country should not spend any single coin from his taxpayers to support this. No. We are just hosting, but who is paying the costs? The cost should be paid by the country sending these people. That's the logic. That's why when they do the calculation, they consider the cost of living of that person in UK. But remember, there are so many other services which are not directly linked to the person. I'll give you an example. If these people are taken to a village, let's say Mokigali, the road connecting to Mokigali is not budgeted in that budget.
And it will have to be worked on.
But obviously, from a government perspective, the government need to build a road to that place. A communication antenna to be set in that proximity need to be set, but it's not put in that cost. That's why when they do the calculation using the reference as from a host country, you are sure that all the related costs for this person to live a decent life, the costs are included. So basically, I'm not trying to say the money is high. It's not high, but it can offer a living condition which is decent to this person.
Okay. Yes. So, sincerely speaking, last week I was walking into a place called Kisementi. You know this place of ours called Kisementi in Remera. I took time, walked door by door, looking at who is the owner of this shop, who is selling here, who is doing business here. I was shocked. I did the calculation myself. I was shocked that the other Kisement area, that Stone area, about 65% of the businesses are for foreigners.
Okay.
And these foreigners are mostly from these countries where we say that we receive the refugees from. I didn't go on to ask each person, are you a refugee? But You could see Eritreans, Ethiopians, Somalians, Sudanese.
Can I fix things? The idea. If these people are owners of businesses, for me, I see them as investors.
That's what I was going to say. That's why
yes.
I was going to tell you that. That's why I stand on that and say that it is a very big opportunity for us, because these people, when they come there, when they do businesses there, first of all, they have to hire our local people.
Yes.
In those restaurants of theirs.
Yes.
They have to pay taxes.
Yes.
I mean, they consume also on a daily basis from our markets.
Yes.
So, to me, I was looking at it and I was like, cool, this is really nice. So, our own people fail to do this kind of business, and this guy is doing it and is employing people here and is doing this, and then you still quote him as a refugee.
No. Wait. You are now confusing things. When someone has a status of refugee, he can't run business.
So the people I'm seeing doing business are the ones that
investors.
Those are investors.
Yes. Because I don't know how much are you familiar with this refugee status. But the moment you have the refugee status, you don't do business.
But there are those who decide to be resettled, but from the other
now
status.
Now you change the status.
Yes.
That's why in my intro, I try to distinguish a refugee, a resident, my immigrant, because they are different status, and we need to clarify. What are we talking now? Are we talking about investors coming to Rwanda? However small or big they could be, because many times people think an investor is someone who come and settle a big factory with more than 10,000 or 10 million US dollars. It's not that. Even someone can come with $1, but with skills. That can be an investor. So these people you see in different corners of Kigali, having shops, having different services, those are in a category of small investors. And for me, I see them under another umbrella, not immigrants. For the immigrant you are talking about, some of them, after setting up in Rwanda, they decide to change the status from a refugee status to a resident status. And there are so many other obligations to people who are residents. They pay taxes. They don't benefit from any refugee assistance. So they pay insurance as we do. They do the normal life, and they are abided by the normal law. So we should distinguish and not mix them.
So for Rwanda to benefit more in this,
yes,
should we advocate for resettling them more than just hosting them as refugees and stay as refugees? Because it looks like, to me, after from what you've just said, it looks like having them more as refugees and owning that refugee status without advocating for them to seek opportunities in the country and resettle in the country and do business here is just not beneficial like the other.
Well, I think when we look at it from a refugee perspective, we're in the humanitarian, kind of thinking. It's a humanitarian. People are stuck in Libya, and they are dehumanized, they are mistreated. We are offering shelter for them. We are giving shelter for them for survival. That's one. Or there is a war escalating somewhere. People are displaced. We are hosting them here. That's a humanitarian response. Now, when people in a country, there are processes. Some want to relocate to third countries. Others decided to stay in Rwanda. And when someone wants to stay in Rwanda and become a normal resident, he loses his status of refugee and become a resident. And it's a very clear path which depend on the person who decide if the person decides to stay as a refugee or a normal resident. There is nothing like we wish or we want them to be this or that. No, it's individual. Everyone decides. And since we already have a regulation, a very clear pathway where people either can be a refugee or be a resident, then let them be whoever they want to be.
Looking at the side of Rwanda, what would be the long-term benefit on the side of Rwanda by hosting refugees in the country? I mean, economically and politically on the side of Rwanda.
I look at it from a broader perspective. You see, Rwanda as a country decided to be a country for tourist destination, for conferences destination, for foreign investment destination. So if you put those four elements together, obviously it puts you on spot to be seen and known as a country of receiving people, you know, with so minimum regulation. Now, if on those, I would say, business strategy you laid on, you add a humanitarian approach of like, okay, if people are dehumanized somewhere, why can't they be here for why they are processing their paper? If people have problem in Europe to get settled, why can't they come here on a humanitarian aspect? I house them, I host them while they are processing their paper. Now it is adding on or to my business strategy to be a host country for events, for conferences, for tourism, for investment, because people need to trust you to bring their capital to your country. The only way they can trust you is if socially you are okay and economically you are good. So those are different dimensions. I think the government put together to say, okay, we are a destination where people can trust, bringing money or seeking for humanitarian responses. And remember, this thing for immigrants, it's a global issue. It's not a continental issue. It's not only for Rwanda. It's not only for Europe. It's not for America. You remember in the first term of President Trump, he said he'll build a wall between U.S. and Mexico. We saw what happened. Even his current term, he keeps saying immigrant issues. The same in Europe, it's the same song. But I think as a country being on that discussion, offering an alternative for immigration issue in the world, it's a contribution a country is bringing. I'm not saying we are solving the entire problem, but it's an avenue for discussion. Maybe it can be a blueprint. Maybe it can be an option among so many others. Yeah.
So many people have said that actually through these deals that Rwanda is engaging into, it's like it's buying its own protection from these big countries like the US and the UK. And also it's like a strategy of attracting aid to come to our country. How do you see that? Is it true?
Well, people are free in their opinions, and my position on that is it doesn't add any value to what we are doing in terms of positioning, or it doesn't add any single coin to donors to give money to Rwanda because it has received refugee. However, it is giving a space to Rwanda when international discussion around immigrant is being discussed on the table. Rwanda is there because Rwanda is a contributor to that. You know, the same we are contributing to peacekeeping missions, for instance. You know, we contributed so many. Actually, we are still there. I don't think there will be any big fora or discussion of peacekeeping mission if Rwanda is not there. It's the same. So the theme is a peacekeeping mission. The theme will be immigration. The theme, we are in those fora where we discuss global warming issues, environment issues. It doesn't mean we want more sympathy. No, it's a global issue. By the way, something you need to understand, this immigration issue, it's not an exclusive burden for European. We also have it. I give you an example. when you travel to West Africa, there are some countries with a very small population, with a very big size of land. They receive so many immigrants from their neighbors. If you recall, in maybe in 95, 96, 97, in Kigali, in all the salon you could go to, in all the garage, do you remember people who were working there?
Ugandans and DRC.
You see?
DRC.
So this immigration thing, it's a common phenomenon. People seek for opportunities. When you have opportunities, people come to you. They exploit them. If you don't, no one comes to your country. Period.
So many people have been talking about the issue of refugees merging it with land. I mean, that healthcare and these other things. I even saw one of the opposition politicians saying that they are going to occupy our land, and some are going to be able to buy our land and put it on a higher place. And I didn't understand that. I was like, look at this person. What's wrong?
Of course, politicians have they want to make them relevant. There is always argument around things like this. But what I can say is it was by God's grace that you were born in Rwanda. You could have born somewhere else. I don't think there is any person who created this world.
No.
So if it happened that you were born here, you could have born somewhere else where there is instability. So if
lucky enough you in Kigali.
Yes, we are in safe. We have a stable country. Why could we think by closing door we are better off? I don't think we could be better off if we close our doors. However, if we build our systems to accommodate people, to cater for basic needs for our people, these people will come and join us, and then we build the country. Because what is obvious for all the countries, countries with good governance, with systems, offer better service to their people than huge country with resources. So problem is not having a resource. The problem is not having a small size of land for a country. The problem is how that small size of land is managed. If it's well managed, then it creates opportunity for people. If it's wrongly managed, even if it is big, it creates issues. I think that's where the problem is for me.
If you are to speak to a local Rwandan who is listening, who is going to be watching us and listening to us, that refugees actually is an advantage that we should take up and use that as a weapon to continue our growth, what would you tell this person? What are some of the, visible examples, practical examples would you give this person that, look, ABCD, let's say you're having a shop here, ABCD, who is it this person buying from you? What would you tell this person as an economist?
No, I'm from that school where I see people without their origin. Because regardless, our differences, all these things were created by colonial. They just came and fragmented our continent.
Our continent.
You see? I know what it feels when you are in another country, in a foreign country, what it feels. So when you start being discriminated, you feel bad. So I would put myself in the shoes of that person coming to Rwanda, being discriminated because you are not a Rwandan. I don't think it's a way to go for me. As someone who like development, let's build our systems. Let's receive whoever is coming. And that person will fit in our system. If our system is good, the person will come and ride with us. But if our system is weak, that person will be a problem for us.
How can Rwanda use these refugees for the continued strategic development? What strategies would you advise to be put in place to make sure that we actually continue to benefit more from these refugees than just the mere things we are talking about of, increasing the purchasing power, increasing the demand for goods and services, and also for the rentals that we're talking about, what other strategies can be implemented to make sure that we actually get more benefits like the US got from the refugees they got long ago, even our grandfathers?
Do you know that, we are living in a world with contradiction. In 1670s, 80s, the Western countries were coming to the continent to get slaves.
To get slaves.
You see? That's history. And today they are saying, we don't want you to come. And those slaves, they build those nations. You understand where the contradiction is?
Definitely.
So it means, depending on what you want, a person coming to you can be a threat or an asset. So that's
are you trying to say that the wise will actually have them come instead of listening to people who say you shouldn't have them?
Well, it depends on how you use them. Because for me, what matters is how do you use them? If you have a system where these people can be absorbed, well and good. But if you are disorganized, they will come and even
continue to disconnect.
So, but still on that same line of thinking, let's differentiate two types of people. For those who are coming for a humanitarian status, let's say there is a war somewhere, outbreak, people we give them
looking for a temporary shelter.
Exactly. Those one, it's a humanitarian response. So we are receiving them. What we need is to have a proper services for them. If it's a refugee camp, let's have it with all the services. It's one aspect.
In the form of showing them that, okay, we
are human.
We are human.
We are human. And remember,
it's up to you to decide whether to stay or to go.
Yeah, but we accommodate them from a humanitarian perspective. That's one angle. The second group of people I could say are these people who are coming under the deals, like immigrants. These people, because it's a deal between two countries, two or three, whatever case can be, I look at it from a beneficial deal now. Much as it has humanitarian answer, but it should also be beneficial to us to develop our infrastructure, to strengthen our systems, even to have our labor force being strengthened. Because among them, we have so many people who are qualified. For so many reasons, they left their country, they went to seek for green pasture, but they are qualified. Let's absorb them. For those,
I like that.
Yes.
So you're saying that, let's say we have IT experts, we have
all the skills,
different skills.
Yes. Let's do the screening.
Let's do the vetting.
Yes.
Have them screened.
Yes.
And have them
absorb them in our system,
have
in
them
our
given work to do,
opportunities. Because by the way, if you see people, if you see the journey they make to reach UK, they are very smart. Many of them are smart. Don't think they are just stupid. No, they're smart people. I know them. I interacted with many of them. They're very smart, so they can be an asset for countries. They can be productive. They can, they can be an answer to our labor force.
High risk takers also.
Basically, that's the skills we need.
Okay,
because
we need high risk takers.
In entrepreneurship, many people fail to try, and they remain there not trying, but them they have tried. Anyway, that can be another topic. Sure. I understand that the majority of them comes with an opportunity, and then we have our normal immigration system where someone can just board a plane and come to Rwanda. Okay, I'm coming to visit. But the next day he's like, okay, in this country, it's safe. I have internet. It's clean. People are very nice. Why can't I stay here? You see, to start my small business. So those different interconnectivity of receiving foreigners, for me, it's an answer and should be very well managed and provides an opportunity for our local people.
So they should seek for ways to continue attracting these people to
yes.
seek opportunities here instead of seeking to go.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's really nice.
We should not look at it from I would say in some countries they see it as a threat to take their jobs, but from what I know, at least from our normal policy related to job opportunities, when they send out an advert, it's always written you must be Rwandan. So it means we are excluding them to be taking our jobs.
Let's talk about that. Why these people fail to change that thing? Because not only Rwandans can apply for a job.
No, I think it makes completely sense for the government to protect its citizen to get jobs. But when for a particular position you fail to get a Rwandan, a citizen, obviously you go out to the market to other people. So it makes completely sense. Yeah.
So then going back to what you earlier talked about, that we should see how to integrate these skills into our own labor market.
Sure.
How can this be worked on, yet we still have that small challenge of if you're not Rwandan, you can't apply?
No. That's I would I'm referring to public labor, a civil servant. I'm referring to formal jobs in companies.
Okay.
But I'm very much sure, actually I know so many cases for high skilled labor, we always go to different avenues to get experts. So it's not like for this particular, no. It's known if you need, if you go to Rwanda Air, when we fly Rwanda Air, we always see Indians flying Rwanda Air or, piloting Rwanda Air and so many. It's not, we know we need them. In so many high skilled position, like in medical area, we know doctors who are foreigners. It's not a problem, actually. If I could say, one of the best country in Africa to host foreigners, it's Rwanda. I've traveled around. I know how other countries behave, but Rwanda is the best country to stay in as a foreigner. The community receives you. The regulation is very much open. You know how much is in some countries to even have a working permit.
Yeah, sure.
In some countries, even in our East African country, some of them go to up to $6,000 per year.
That's a lot.
So you understand how tough it is. Yes.
Teddy, many critics actually argued that, hosting refugees or sending refugees from these developed countries to developing countries is kind of a burden shifting. That, sincerely speaking, Teddy, let's be honest here. US or UK really failed to host these people, or they just don't want them?
For me, I look at it from two perspectives. One, it's a political tool. And no one can contradict me. We know how much this immigration topic weigh in political agenda, in propaganda, When a political party wants to touch a very sensitive topic, they talk about immigration. We know even those one called conservatives, we know they are against foreigners. It's known. It's not a new topic I'm introducing here.
And yet they supported it.
Exactly. So, for me, it's more political than it is social. That's one. Two, in I would say in Western countries, especially in countries where social services are working properly. Working, I mean, if today you are there, you are not working, you are paid that pension for you to survive. So what the taxpayer says, when these people come, for the time they get a job, they are on pay. And who pay that money? It's money from our tax. And they never worked for us to get that money. So it's become like a complaint from the citizens, like, okay, people just are landing in our country, they are enjoying our money. You understand?
Because the policy is already there that says if someone is not employed somewhere,
yes,
has to earn something to survive.
Exactly. That's how they I would say their systems work. Now the issue is, okay, if they change their legislation, you know, by changing would mean we are not giving any pension to people without paper. It would be contradicting their fundamental principles of equity, equality, and social and human capital. So now it connects to the political thing again. So it becomes,
which forces them to seek the solution on how to avoid the public.
Them. Not yes.
Yeah. So expel them.
Yes.
Because the law has to work.
Exactly. So you understand the dilemma between the social services they are supposed to be giving and the opinion of the people who are basically the taxpayers and to whom politicians are answerable. So it become a political tool and they decide for the...
Because it's really very contradicting. Because we all know that these developed countries have old populations. The population is old.
Well, yes.
I would expect them actually to welcome these people with all hands.
No, the tricky part is if you welcome them today, tomorrow you'll get double of them, and the next day you'll get the triple of them, and the number won't be controlled. So it's become a very sensitive issue in terms of ratios. So, by the way, some countries has introduced a selective immigration principle. They call it high skilled.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, for the high skilled personnel, who fit in their economy.
No, actually, you know the reality is if this person is, I call it port from a country, that same day the person start to work. It's like if you are getting a medical doctor, qualified or nurses. By the moment they land in your country, by the way, you are sure that they speak your language. They speak English or French. So that same day you just introduce them to the hospital, they start working. You understand? So there's no burden for you to...
So you see how bad these people are?
Of course. I mean, we are in the capitalistic world.
You see how really bad these people are?
It's a capitalistic world.
They just want to pick from us the cream.
Yes.
And then they leave...
That's the reality.
They want to pick the cream, take it, and then bring also what they don't want and leave it here, and then leave us with also those who cannot afford to do.
On one side, I agree with them, because each country should design policies to protect its citizens. If you take everyone, at some point, some of them will be a burden. So you don't want to take that risk. On the other side, you need them.
That's where I doubt the skills we are talking about of these guys coming with, yet they are trying to first screen the best skills.
No. You see, again, the skills need depend on the country. What we need here is different from what UK needs. UK needs are different from Netherlands needs. So each country has a skill set needed on a particular time. Even Rwanda, what we needed 10 years ago is not the same as what we need today.
But let's agree that the sectors that we need the most, the skilled personnel, it's the same as in the US as well.
No.
Are you trying to say that we don't need IT specialists? We don't need doctors? We don't need nurses?
No, wait. We need doctors. You understand? But which doctors? because within
specialized doctors.
No, I mean today in the US, because they are using artificial intelligence, they have all the infrastructure. So the type of specialized doctor they need are different from ours. Today they are discovering vaccine. They are discovering some medicine. They are inventing the space. Those are specialization we don't need because we don't have the